Okay, you are on.
All right. I am Linda Deer, and this guy right here.
This guy's not Linda Deer. This guy is Ray Holly, the man behind the curtain, for certain.
And like always, we are here every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. We're always so happy to be here with you guys to find out what the next insight, Linda's weekly guided insight, is all about. Tonight is fascinating.
It's a really good show tonight.
I love this. Welcome to episode number 272 of Linda's Weekly Guided Insights, a weekly gift of guidance from my spirit guides on navigating the uncertain world that you are now living in. Published every Tuesday since 2014. Tonight, the guides will be talking about Karmic Madness. The takeaway from this week's episode is you came here to correct the karma from other lifetimes, not create more. Karmic madness occurs between your arrival into this life and departure out of it. Everything in between is considered karmic madness. It's unfinished business from previous lifetimes. Karmic madness is driven by your ego. It's these ego-driven desires that keep you chasing things your entire life. Karma is a process of cause and effect. What comes around goes around. A cycle that keeps you stuck in karmic madness. The urge to finish previous karmic business brings on the feeling of urgency. They are so desperate to accomplish a goal or an outcome that they will do almost anything to get what they feel they lack. This process involves stepping on other people, being inconsiderate of their feelings, or what your actions do to them. This is about using your gifts and talents. That's the only way you can avoid or be tempted into karmic madness. Karmic madness is the ingredients in the center of your sandwich between your arrival and departure from this world. So be mindful of your actions. Take a pause before you react to anything or anyone. All right, we're going to dig into this one. This is a great one. And we had a comment on this one today, didn't we, Ray?
We had a great comment.
All right, so let's go.
Let me find it here. This is from Viola. Viola always has a comment for us.
Viola, you are getting this, every part of this. You're just getting it so well. Viola is awake. Check out this comment.
Okay, Viola said, I wonder if karma and karmic madness has always been part of our humanity. If there was no karma, would we humans be around, existing here? How would a life or an existence without any kind of karma look like? What would it look like? Is it something we humans could achieve ever? I am really curious how the guides and you see this.
Okay, I'm going to talk about this. This was an excellent comment. Excellent, Viola. Your comments are getting better and better. So I'm going to address the first one, and we're going to have the guides talk about this too, all right? I wonder if karma and karmic madness has always been a part of humanity. Absolutely. So the only reason we come here is when we have unfinished karma, unfinished business from previous lifetimes, things that we haven't yet perfected, perfecting the soul in ourselves. That's what brings us back into lifetime. It's called reincarnation. After lifetime, this is not the first trip. We've been here many times, and we keep coming back because we haven't quite got it right, or we really messed up. Let's hope we don't add more karma to the life we're living. If there was no karma, would we humans even exist? Well, humans are entities that exist in the physical world, specifically on the earth, on this planet. Humans don't exist on other planets. Hybrids of humans exist on other planets where they've crossbreeded with other existences, okay? But humans, like we are just human, we came here to work out our karma. So if there was no karma, would we humans even exist? No. We wouldn't need the experience. So we would like boing, go over, we'd bypass the earthly experiences here. There would be no purpose for us to be here unless we were teachers, unless we came from ascension into this plane to help others ascend. Okay? Like, you've heard about the gurus and the ascended masters and all that. Okay. It might even be you, because it's not just one type of person. It's all types of teachers that come in that may have some karma that they need to work out while they're doing their teaching. So they kind of do two things because they can, okay? They've learned enough where they can. How, and the third comment that Viola said, how would a life or an existence without karma look like? Just exactly what I just explained. It wouldn't, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't need this experience. But you could come here to help out, to teach, to guide. Guided. Is it something we humans can achieve? That's the whole point in being here, Viola. We're here to overcome our karma, and it's not just paying a debt, it's understanding on a soul level. I mean, where it's not just doing something good and being good. That's not solving your karma. Okay, it's not about being good. Being good is a byproduct of something you did or not. And it's subjective. Somebody will look at you and they'll say, one person will say, wow, you did really good. And somebody else will look at you and say, you didn't do good at all. Okay, so it's real subjective, right? That's an opinion. I'm really curious how the guides and you see this. All right, so we're going to let the guides expand on what I just talked about. Pull that out of there. Okay. And here they go.
You cannot escape your deeds, whether good or bad. Your deeds result in some kind of bondage. It's entirely possible how someone would look at what you did and consider it to be a good thing, while others felt the opposite way. So all deeds bring some type of consequences to the world that is a material world.
That's interesting. So it is subjective. And the way to really keep tabs on how you're doing, are you really here? Have you resolved and are you resolving past, let's call karma, past mistakes, okay, past hurts, past misunderstandings. That's really what it is, okay? You know, when you did something, no one has to punish you and say, I'm going to punish you. I'm going to do this to you. And you can even be put in prison to be punished for something. But if you haven't done the inner work to resolve this within yourself, no punishment will ever work. Nothing will work on you. This is up to you. This is all on you. So, as soon as you leave this world, let me explain this. As soon as you're released from this world, and I've experienced this from people who have crossed over many, many, many times. As soon as you cross over, the instant you cross over, you know how they say that it's a past life review of the life that you just were released from? That happens. And it's an instant thing. No one does this to you. No one judges you. It's between you and your soul. That's your soul is the judge of you. And that's you. That's you on the deepest level that judges how your life panned out. I'll give you an example of that. My dad, I loved my dad. And my dad died. And when I showed up at the hospital, probably 5 minutes after he died, it took me about 20 minutes to get there. And my mom said she pulled the plug on my dad. She was a jerk, mean. And I said, I'm going into the room to see Dad anyway. And Dad was laid out on the bed. He was dead. And I walked up to him and I petted his head just a few times. And he flew off. I saw, in my mind's eye, I saw a bird fly away. And a message came to me from my dad. He said, let me remember how this happened. He no longer judged me. It's not what he said. It was the energy that came to me instantly. All judgment he had about me was released. You guys, I didn't even know he judged me. I never judged him, but he judged me. And I was amazed that came through. At the instant he stayed waiting for me. Okay, he's in limbo, waiting for me. And as soon as he let me know that he no longer judged me, all the judgment was released. I went, wow. That's how quick this all works. When we get our sanity back, when we leave this world, when we're released from this world, we're completely sane. Sane. While we're here, things happen in this world that make you crazy. It makes you do things, think things, judge people, and all kinds of things. It bends who you really are. It distorts you. That's why, and I really have to tell you, these journals that I wrote, my guided journey, they're right here. There's the first journal that I wrote. That's the companion journal to guided. Guided is how I learned this throughout my life, true life story. And this journal, and then this is the journal you write in every day to keep track of yourself so you don't fall off your path. All right. But this journal here will clean up all that goo from the past, all that karma that was done to you. Because it's hurtful. So this stuff, when we cross over, the instant we cross over, Ray's mother crossed over. And she came to us in a session and she said, I have my mind back. She died with Alzheimer's. And she said, my only regret is that I was a burden to you, Ray, because Ray took care of her. And it was very stressful on Ray. The instant we cross over, we're clear. So this thing about karma is, it's why we're here. We're here to clean up karma, meaning things we did in the past that we, once we crossed over and had that awareness and that realization and that clarity, we knew our soul knew, it knew. It's like this. It knew you had to come back. You had to come back to finish this, to get this right. That's what brought you back here. Something wiser than you in this world. You can't ever say, my mom used to say, I'm never coming back. I'm never coming back into this life. I'm never coming back here. My mom damaged goods, and she built so much karma up in this life. I have no idea the karma she brought with her. Who knows? But you don't decide. I mean, us physical human beings, uh, we really draw our energy down to be in these physical forms, to exist on the planet. We don't we don't see it all. We're far from seeing it all. It's only when you start writing in your journal that you start seeing glimpses of it, and insights and awarenesses, and you get all kinds of conscious thoughts, and memory starts coming back. Okay, it starts breaking through, cracking through the amnesia. Karma reminds you of the consequences. Karma is is all about the consequences. The consequence of having karma is coming back and having another lifetime, experiencing this again. Boy, I mean, you just hope that you're born into a family that's a good family, you know. But it depends on all the karma you created that puts you into a family situation that you select before you come here to live out another lifetime. You pick everybody, all the characters in your family. I did that. We all do that to learn what we missed the last time. We spend more time planning our life with our guides before we come here than it takes to live it. How about that? So really start writing out what's going on in your life. Pay attention to become conscious so you can start being aware of yourself as you're moving through this. So you, number one, don't build up more karma, but you resolve some karma and you become more of who you are when you're released from this world. You guys, you can't take any of the cars and the houses and the money and the da 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 and all the things that you see, all the billionaires and everybody in the world now more than ever, and how they've stepped all over people. I mean, they don't care. They're and they can't lose. At some point they have so much they can't even lose, and they have no um, concern for their fellow man. Most of them don't, and that we're really at a tipping point with that right now.
Okay, can somebody? So the guy said you're a slave to your what they how they say that to your deeds.
To your deeds.
You're controlled by your deeds. So
Those are the things you've done, your deeds. You will be judged by your deeds,
right,
and you will judge yourself. There's not some guy in the sky with a beard that's going to judge you.
keep it score.
No, that it's nothing like that at all. It's worse than that.
You're doing it to yourself.
Yeah,
So my question was, so you can't escape your deeds. That's what the guide said.
right.
So can somebody do something what they feel is very good for themselves, for humanity, for they help, and then be tormented by it the rest of their life, and feel that it wasn't good, or maybe it wasn't. They didn't do enough.
It
Or
depends. Okay, that's a good question. It depends on what you came in with. You may have done some horrendous things, many, 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 many lifetimes. I mean, horrendous things. No matter how much you did or gave to humanity in this lifetime, no matter what that was, If what you did in the past was so horrendous, it may take many lifetimes to resolve it. So if a person feels like that, they go, yeah, I've done a lot of good things for humanity, but I need more time to get more done. That's somebody who is resolving, cleaning up old karma from other lifetimes. And they felt, when you cross over, you feel, this is real important. As soon as you cross over, you feel the pain and hurt that you inflicted onto others manyfold, manyfold, instantly. So can you imagine these people who were like murderers or whatever, they did.
Politicians.
Politicians, yeah. Okay, if you can imagine um, how much blowback they get in an instant, okay, how it's devastating to the clarity of the naked soul that feels that. That's the input you get. It's not somebody judging you. It's you being totally clear and honest with yourself. I mean, brutally honest, beyond brutal. The truth is the truth. And when you cross over to the other side, there's only two things that exist there. Energy is love and truth. And it's, you guys, you can't lie when you're on the other side. Everything's telepathic. It's instant. You can't lie to yourself. You can't play these games that people play in this world. So you may as well just get it right. And if you feel the urge to do something that you, I mean, you don't get paid any money for it, or I don't know what it happens to be, um, but you have to do it anyway. You have to do it. That's more important than the job you have. That's more important than anything else. You've got to see it through, and you've got to follow up on that. That's honoring the reason you came here. Okay, so if you're here, you've got some karma from other lifetimes. Fit it in. Definitely fit it in. And writing in your journal will be a place where you can start to see, check and balance, check and balance, check and balance how you're doing, and go back and clean up the past. Check and balance every day as you move through your life, and be sure to see whatever the patterns are in your day-to-day writing will point you to the chapter in part 2 of my guided journey that needs work. There's 18 chapters in part 2 that in there.
Okay, so looking at it from the universe's perspective, all right?
Yeah.
There's all these people on the earth, and some did good before, some didn't do so good. They're all coming back to work. Something is here's my question: is the universe seeking some type of energy balance?
Definitely. Absolutely.
And they use karma to manipulate it around. They're all. I think the universe is always trying to seek a universal balance, not just a Earth balance, but a universal balance. So, I mean, if that was the case, then energy from other planets, other galaxies, could affect what's going on here.
And does. And does.
Yep.
This is not about punishment. This is about getting it right. This is about you getting it right in the smallest of ways, but getting it right. That's why it hurts. It hurts when, like, if you have a family member that's just lost their way, and they just keep losing their way, and they keep doing more damage to themselves and to others. It really makes you feel hurt. Because when you came into this life, you planned this life. It took more time to plan it than to live it. These family members were part of that dynamic. And when you see the choices they make, too many times the choices are far from perfect. I mean, this thing about being unconscious, it has to stop, I mean, that's why writing in your journal, it's where you're going to start becoming aware, conscious. You're going to see yourself You're going to stop yourself. You're going to let yourself live it out. You're going to stop worrying about what people think. That's small potatoes. That's small stuff. Okay? Don't let that stop you. When you read my book, Guided, right there. When you read my book or listen to my book, Guided, you'll see how I worked through it, how I figured it out. But I was an outcast. I was I mean, it was one thing after the other throughout my childhood, and I stuck it out. I had this connection that I came in with that I remembered, and that's how I was able to do it. And then when I went out on my own in the big world, wow, I couldn't miss. So I must have cleaned up indefinitely. I did clean up, and I paid attention to um, the drama, trauma, confusion, and abuse I was in as a little child. Instead of taking it personally, I started journaling at 7 years old so I could understand what these two worlds were about, the one we're in and the one I came from, because I was constantly getting this guidance from them. So I knew something else was going on from the beginning of my life. Chapter 1, 28 chapters and guided. Chapter 1 sets the stage for my entire life when I realized why I was here and who I was, what my purpose was in this lifetime. You guys, it's all it's all there. All you have to do is start writing down what's unusual and out of the ordinary, what you like, what you don't like about what's going on in the world around you, in you, okay? And analyze it and don't take it personally. You will learn nothing if you get drawn into the drama. You'll learn nothing if you there's a difference between feeling and emotion. If you're emotionally caught up in what's going on, you're going to miss it. If you pull back and you analyze what's going on out there, you observe it, then you can go by your feeling and go, ooh, yes, no, that's good for me, that's not good for me. I'm going to do that, I'm not going to do that. You listen to the feeling. Don't listen to the emotion. The emotion is the drama and the karma. That's what these books teach. That's what Guided teaches. Okay, Ray, I'm going to go ahead and great comments, Viola. Keep them coming. All right, so before we close the session tonight with the guides, I've got a few announcements. Join us next Tuesday, March 9th, for episode number 273 of Linda's Weekly Guided Insights with me, Ray, and my spirit guides at 6 p.m. Pacific time on my Facebook page, Facebook timeline, and YouTube channel. Now, if I believe next week it'll be a week, 2 weeks from now. Okay. I was thinking about daylight savings time, but we'll still be on this time until the next week, daylight savings time. Okay. And use the search term Linda Deer. In Linda's Weekly Guided Insights, my spirit guides will be talking about the stress in your world is like a rubber band ready to snap. The takeaway from this week's episode will be you will learn how to rise above the daily stressors. Every day you see or hear about someone else or a group of people lashing out because they are under too much stress. To most people, rising above the stress seems like a trek up a steep mountain. Will you ever reach the top of the summit? And if you do, will you find what you're looking for once you get there? The world is so far out of balance that for many, just knowing where to start is a huge problem. Thinking this way stops them before they even get started, as this habitual negative self-talk takes over once again. This Thursday, March 4th at 6 p.m. Pacific Time, join us on our Facebook private group, Ask the Universal Channel. The teachers of Ask the Universal Channel will be performing the following. Kathy's guides will talk about keeping your vibrations high. Rebecca's guides will explain how money is not love. And Joy's guides will talk about the opportunities to raise the energies to the best vibration for you to communicate with them, your guides. And this event will be hosted by Linda Deer and Ray Hawley. And this Saturday, I'm booked up. I'm so booked up with work, and I'm working on getting the training I'm going to be doing launched. I'm going to have to cut out Saturdays for a while so I can catch up to myself. Okay, I need that little extra runway to get that done. I was hoping to have the training available on Saturdays starting March 6th. But I just haven't, I've had too much business, too many coaching, or not too many, but a lot of coaching sessions and a lot of training sessions, private ones, and working on getting the training launched. It's been a lot. Okay, so I'm busy, and I don't want to just throw the training out there. I won't do that. It's going to be excellent, you guys. This training is going to be so good. So give me a little time to work on that. I'm going to need the Saturdays, the time on Saturdays, along with the rest of the week, to work on getting the training out. So I'm going to be off the set for Saturdays for a little while. But when I come back on, it's going to be training, okay? Awesome training using the guided journal writing system. So you guys can perform on this and really, really bring a whole new life to everything you do, all right? Okay, and if my work has helped you or changed your life in a positive way, tell your like-minded friends about what we do. Have them go to my website, and everything is right there on the homepage. And join us on Tuesdays. Okay, so we're going to get to the closing message here, Ray.
Mm-hmm.
Karmic Madness, you guys. And here they go.
The universe is always seeking an energy balance. You may call it karma if you want, but it is an energy balance. The energy balance happens in a big way and in the smallest of ways. Dark and light, good and bad, life and death, powerful and weak. A good way to look at how it works on the nature scale is when birds are alive, they eat ants. When birds are dead, ants eat them.
So what goes around comes around.
Yes.
But nothing goes to waste. That's the whole
No,
point.
it's an energy balance.
And it's in the physical world, on the earth plane, okay? Things here are material. They're material. And it may look sad, like the polar bears going extinct because the ice caps are melting. It may look sad, and it does look sad. But for one thing that fades away, that goes extinct, something else comes into play. It recycles itself. it's that recycling, like this around me, this recycling, okay? And it's what we all chose to experience for this period in our existence. And you guys, by the time we're done here on the planet, each lifetime, and we find ourselves on the other side, we're released from this world. We don't die. We just move on to another dimension, to another place where we normally are most of the time. We are on the other side most of the time. And we look back and flash back at this lifetime, it's like a blink of the eye. But when we're in it, it feels like it's going to go on forever and ever. People say all the time, when's this going to stop? Stop already, you know? Or I want out of this, or I want to run away. But you guys came here not to run away. You didn't come here to run away. You came here to get something done. So stay focused on that. Do your journal writing. These journals there's nothing out in the world like these, okay? Nothing. And these journals will turn you around. And they're so simple. They're so simple. I've had many people tell me, Linda, they're so simple that they're hard. That's why the training I'm going to be doing on Saturdays, that hopefully in the next several months, that I'll have done, I'll be rolling it out, that you guys will be able to participate in and really apply these to your life so you don't miss your life. That's the whole reason I wrote them. Okay.
Good.
All right, you guys. Remember that you are always being guided. You are never alone.